In a stunning development that's sending shockwaves across the NBA landscape, 15-time All-Star Kevin Durant appears headed for yet another change of scenery. Following the Phoenix Suns' decision to part ways with head coach Mike Budenholzer, ESPN's Shams Charania has delivered the bombshell report that Durant and the Suns organization are expected to collaborate on finding a trade partner this offseason. This explosive news transforms the upcoming NBA summer into what could become one of the most fascinating chess matches in recent basketball history. Durant, widely considered one of the greatest pure scorers the game has ever witnessed, continues to defy Father Time with remarkable efficiency. At 36 years old, when most players have either significantly declined or retired, the Slim Reaper put together another stellar campaign, averaging 26.6 points while shooting a blistering 52.7% from the field, 43.0% from three-point territory, and 83.9% from the charity stripe. These numbers aren't just good for a player approaching 37. They rank among the elite statistics in the entire league. The two-time Finals MVP remains a devastating offensive force capable of elevating any team into championship contention overnight. The financial implications of any potential Durant trade create a significant hurdle for interested parties. Durant has 1 year remaining on his current contract, which will pay him a staggering $54.7 million next season. This massive salary cap hit narrows the field of realistic suitors to organizations with both the financial flexibility and asset capital necessary to complete such a monumental transaction. What makes this situation particularly intriguing is that we've nearly seen this scenario play out before. Reports indicate the Suns came tantalizingly close to shipping Durant back to the Golden State Warriors at the February trade deadline, before the forward privately expressed his disinterest in returning to the Bay Area. The Warriors, having pivoted to acquire Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat after learning of Durant's reluctance to reunite with his former championship teammates, are notably absent from the current list of potential destinations. According to trusted NBA insider Mark Stein, 4 franchises have emerged as the most frequently discussed landing spots: the Minnesota Timberwolves, New York Knicks, Miami Heat, and San Antonio Spurs. What's particularly interesting about this grouping is the stark contrast in their current competitive situations. 3 are playoff teams with championship aspirations, while the Spurs represent a fascinating rebuilding project centered around generational talent: Victor Wembanyama and the recently acquired De'Aaron Fox. League sources have specifically highlighted the Timberwolves and Knicks as organizations to watch closely, with their interest potentially intensifying depending on how their current playoff runs conclude. For Minnesota, acquiring Durant would potentially create one of the most formidable trios in basketball, alongside Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns. The franchise has already demonstrated its willingness to make bold moves to compete now, as evidenced by their acquisition of Rudy Gobert. Adding Durant could propel them from dangerous playoff team to legitimate championship favorite overnight. The Knicks, meanwhile, have methodically built a culture of toughness and accountability under coach Tom Thibodeau, establishing themselves as Eastern Conference contenders. Durant's scoring prowess would provide the perfect complement to Jalen Brunson's playmaking and the team's defensive identity. The Heat's inclusion in these rumors carries particular intrigue, given Pat Riley's well-documented history of pursuing superstar talent. Despite missing out on Damian Lillard last offseason and subsequently trading Butler, the organization remains committed to competing at the highest level. Durant's relationship with current Heat star Bam Adebayo through Team USA connections could potentially factor into Miami's pursuit. The Spurs represent perhaps the most unexpected potential destination, but with legendary coach Greg Popovich's career winding down, San Antonio might be accelerating their timeline. A core featuring Wembanyama, Fox, and Durant would immediately vault back into playoff contention while providing the young French phenom with an invaluable mentor. What makes this situation especially compelling is Durant's basketball journey thus far. From his early days as the cornerstone of the Oklahoma City Thunder alongside Russell Westbrook and James Harden, to his championship-winning tenure with the Warriors, followed by his Brooklyn experiment with Kyrie Irving, and most recently his pairing with Devin Booker in Phoenix, Durant has experienced virtually every type of team dynamic imaginable. Yet championships have proven elusive since his departure from Golden State in 2019. This upcoming move represents perhaps his final opportunity to add to his legacy with another title before his remarkable career comes to its eventual conclusion. 3DE. Coming weeks will feature intense speculation, with teams undoubtedly preparing their most compelling pitches and assembling trade packages worthy of a player of Durant's caliber. The Suns, meanwhile, find themselves at a crossroads after successive playoff disappointments, despite assembling what appeared to be a championship-caliber roster on paper. Phoenix's ability to extract maximum value in any Durant trade will significantly impact their future trajectory, particularly as they attempt to build a competitive team around Booker for years to come. As this situation develops, basketball fans around the world will be watching closely to see where one of the game's greatest scorers will take his talents next. Don't forget to hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Where do you think Kevin Durant should land next season? Is he still a championship-level difference maker? The NBA offseason drama is just getting started, and we'll be here covering every angle of this developing story as it unfolds. This is the kind of seismic shift that can reshape the entire league landscape, and I can't wait to see what happens next.